And welcome back, everybody, to another live reaction here at I'm Not a Coach. I'm your host, Dave Huerta, and today we got the Browns versus the Steelers in Pittsburgh. The Browns trying to get their second victory this season over the Pittsburgh Steelers. That would be the first time they sweep the Steelers since the 80s, man, the late 80s, I believe. So Browns, this is actually I actually debated whether to stream this one or the Fox game, which I think was Atlanta versus Minnesota. And that one looked a little bit more interesting. Obviously, the storyline with Kirk Cousins going back to Minnesota, it's a team that he played for so long. But the Browns, man, this is going to be the third consecutive week we have the Browns on the channel, and the first two games have not disappointed. So had to go with the Brownies, man. 2 weeks ago, they played this exact same team in Cleveland in a snow globe game. It was phenomenal. It was ugly. It was great. It's one of my favorite games of the season. And then obviously last week we had the Browns versus Denver. That was a wild game. Crazy ending, crazy second half. And I said, you know what? Let's roll with the Browns again. So the first play, it wasn't even actually a play. It was a penalty on Cleveland for encroachment. So that's how you start out here. So 1st and 5 for the Steelers here at the 35. Single back in the backfield. Russell Wilson under center. And it's going to be a handoff to Harris. He makes a move and he gets to about the 39. All right, we got 2nd and 2 coming up here. Tight end in motion, single back in the backfield. And play action. Russell gets it out to his tight end underneath and unable to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a loss of 1 for Pittsburgh. So 3rd and 3 coming up. But how is your day going? How's your Sunday? How has your weekend been, man? Let me know in the chat. All right. Wilson in the shotgun. Play action. Rolling out to his left. A lot of pressure. Throws it deep down the field to a wide open man, but it's going to be incomplete, out of bounds. Trying to get it to the former New York Jet, Mike Williams. All right, Pittsburgh punts this ball away. It's a pretty good punt. Caught at around the 4, going to be returned to the 10, and out across the 15 down to about the 16, maybe the 17 there. All right, we're going to see Cleveland on the field here. Jameis Winston, last time we saw him, he threw for nearly 500 yards in that tough loss against Denver. Threw 4 touchdowns in that game, but also threw 3 interceptions, including 2 that were returned for touchdowns. Obviously, the last one, sorry, not the last interception, the second interception that was basically kind of leading down the field, hoping to take the lead very late. Bad throw. It was to the inside, got picked off, and even though the defender fell on the field, he was there for a couple seconds, still had enough time to get up, dust himself off, and get to the end zone to basically put that game out of reach. All right, Winston under center, single back in the backfield, and delayed handoff, and it's going to cost the Browns about 5 yards there. And that is T.J. Watt, the former Wisconsin Badger, coming off that the right edge, and then just taking down Hubbard. I think I said Hubbard. I meant Nick Chubb. Yeah, Nick Chubb had a rough game against Denver last week, man. He could not get going. He was He wasn't even the leading rusher, and a lot of pressure, and Winston just throws it away, incomplete. Pittsburgh sending a delayed blitz right over the middle. Great penetration. Nick Chubb doing his best to hold off Patrick Queen. Winston looking for a call there, but there was really nothing there. Trying to get a roughing the passer penalty. So we got 3rd and 15 here. Takes the snap. Winston looking, and he's going to be taken down for a sack. Back at the 4, and that is Highsmith. Finally, I feel like he's missed a couple games here, but not. He has been one of the better pass rushers for the Steelers defense, man. Between him and and Watt, they have a strong 1-2 punch there. And the Brownies are going to punt this one deep in their own territory. Bojorquez trying to get this one out. He does. Not a great punt. Doesn't even get to the 50. And returned all the way down to about the 35. There might have been a fumble there. But it looks like Pittsburgh was able to get back on top. So the Steelers are going to get the ball officially at the 36. So great field position. Have a great opportunity to come away with some points on this second drive. All right, I'm liking the flow of this game. So we got 2 receivers on the right, single back in the backfield. Russell hands it off. Harris cutting it inside to the outside now, and a massive run by Najee Harris, man, just right up the middle. Looked like he was going to bounce it out to the right, cuts it back inside, then he cut it out to the right. Just a heck of a run, man. Got it somewhere around the 20. And he got it actually to the 16. So gain of 20 on the ground there by Najee Harris. All right. Wilson under center, single back in the backfield, tight end in motion. It's going to be a toss up the middle. Harris making a cut, gets it down to the 10, and officially going to get it to the 9. Gain of 7 there. Man, Harris is looking solid thus far, man. It's been a couple weeks since we called a Steelers game. I think the last one was against the Browns during that snow game. And Harris was not amazing in that game, but he's looking strong right now. Single receiver to the right. Number 11, Van Jefferson in motion. Harris in the backfield alone. Another toss, this one to the left, and Harris going to barrel through for a gain of about 2, maybe 2.5, and it'll set up a 3rd and 1 for the Steelers. All right, running back is Jaylen Warren. Ball at the 7. They need to get the ball to the 6. And it's going to be a QB sneak. Initially, it looks like they got it, but there is a flag on the field. I think it's going to be on Pittsburgh for a false start. And it was officially an illegal formation, so Pittsburgh losing about 5 yards on that one. All right, Wilson in the shotgun, two receivers to the right, tight end in motion to the left. Cleveland sends four. Wilson cannot get the ball out, pops up, and incomplete. Just great pressure, man. That pocket collapsed immediately. Yeah, and Wilson's ball was low, and I'm pretty sure it hit one of his offensive linemen, ran the back. Luckily for him, nobody was able to get that ball. All right, but it looks like we're going to have a good chance for our first point of this game with the field goal unit, and it is good for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, with 9:32 left in this game, left in the first quarter, the Pittsburgh Steelers take a 3-0 lead over the Cleveland Browns. So yeah, the Steelers last week on Sunday, crazy game against the Bengals. It was 44-38, just a wild game. That offense looked amazing. Russell Wilson throwing for nearly 500 yards in that game, a lot of touchdowns. That defense, though, for Pittsburgh needs to play significantly better if they want to be able to get a deep run in the playoffs. And so far, that defense has been really good, but there's been a few games where they've given up a lot of points. All right, guys, I will be right back in just a few seconds. Cam, what's going on, man? Welcome, welcome. Can I say for hey, no, all good, man. Appreciate you being here. How's your Sunday going, man? And the kickoff is away, and they're gonna go out the back of the end zone here. And the Brownies gonna get the ball at the 30. And Cam, the Ravens, they have a bye this week, don't they? Or am I wrong? All right. Receiver in motion to the left. Shotgun for the Browns. And a delayed handoff. Nice run up the middle, getting it down to the 38 is Jerome Ford, who was the leading rusher last week against the Denver Broncos. And, oh, yeah, the Eagles and Panthers, man. hopefully that should be a good game, man. The Eagles have looked like one of the best teams over the last 2 months, honestly. And the Panthers, man, they're looking a little bit better, man. It seems like some of the stuff that they were really struggling with, the little things, are getting a little bit better. So hopefully that should be a good matchup. 2nd and 3, another handoff up the middle. Nick Chubb this time, I believe, or is that Jerome Ford still? And that is, nope, Nick Chubb with a nice gain of about 4, maybe 5 on that one. Oh, okay, so they do have a bye. That's what I thought. I was like, man, usually that's the one of the few teams I look for. If I can get a Ravens game in, I try to at the very least. They're just really fun to watch, man. That offense is really exciting. When they have a when they're on, and most of the time they are on, but man, they got to be a little bit more consistent. That defense needs to play a little bit better as well. But tight end in motion. It's going to be a toss to the left. And Chubb unable to get anything on that one. I'm sorry, they were showing the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, but then you just see the special teams coach in the back just blowing his nose, just walking by, and then he comes back across and he's like chewing something. He's like putting something in his mouth. Sorry, that was just comedic gold by that special teams coach. Just like a drive-by photo bomb, a video bomb there. So we got 2nd and 10, throw over the middle and a wide open receiver for a first down, and that is Elijah Moore. Absolutely, no, for sure. Yeah, because what was it? Against the Steelers, man, they didn't give up a whole lot of points in that game. That was just the offense really kind of not being able to get moving. So yeah, I agree. The defense has gotten definitely better, but it's that complementary football there that they gotta bring down, man. You gotta when the offense is having a great game, the defense has to continue, and vice versa. Throw over the middle, and it is nearly intercepted by the Steelers. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Trying to get the ball to Njoku over the middle, and the safety nearly just jumped over him to get to that ball. All right, we got 2nd and 10. And a quick dump down to Nick Chubb, and that'll gain maybe a yard on the play. Yeah, and then when it comes to the Ravens too, man, it seems like when they play the really great teams, like like the KCs, the Eagles, that defense doesn't give up a whole lot of points. Usually it's under 20, anywhere between under 20 to under 23 or something like that. But then they'll have those games where they're just giving up some big chunks. All right, we got 3rd and 9, ball at the 35. And Winston running, throwing it over the middle, wide open, and that is a touchdown to Jerry Jeudy. And Jerry Jeudy, man, coming off that historic night, going over, I think he had 235 in that game against his former club. Yeah, Winston just climbed the pocket, looked like he was going to run, and then just threw it right over the top to basically a wide open Jerry Jeudy. I think Jeudy was either running. I think he was running a post run on that one. I couldn't see the whole route, but that was just a great throw, great play design, and the Browns, man, Well, that bodes well for the Ravens here. Obviously, Ravens need the Steelers to drop a few here over the next couple weeks. And there's also, obviously, they're going to be Pittsburgh and Baltimore are going to be facing each other pretty soon here. So if the Browns can help out the Ravens a little bit here, it's only going to help them. It's only going to be make that next game against Pittsburgh a little bit more meaningful. Oh man, yeah. I think from what I remember reading a couple days ago, it hasn't happened since 1988. I think it was like late 80s the last time the Browns were able to pull the double over the Pittsburgh Steelers. At least in the regular season, I think I might be wrong, but I remember when Baker here, they beat them once in the regular season, and then they beat them again later in the playoffs. So technically, you could consider that twice, but yeah, man, if the Browns can pull off another, and I mean that offense has been playing really well over the last, I would say at least 3 or 4 games. I know the last game against Pittsburgh, it was kind of a weird, slightly low scoring, but then it became a little bit high scoring because it was, you're getting into the 20s there. But this Browns offense, ever since Winston kind of came in, man, they have looked a lot better. They're definitely not perfect. Still, turnovers, things like that. But man, dude, they have looked significantly better than they did in the first like 2 months when, the other guy was starting for them. And I'm pretty sure Jameis only signed a 1 year contract with Cleveland. So it'll be interesting if Cleveland is not in position to draft a, a replacement, a potential franchise quarterback. Okay, so it was a nice little poster. He did just kind of flatten it out at the end there. So nice. But yeah, if Cleveland is not in position to draft some of the top prospects, they might just sign Winston to a 1 year to maybe a 2 year kind of contract where it's almost like an option for the second year. All right, we got 1st and 10 for the Steelers in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right. Quick throw to the tight end. I believe that's Darnell Washington. And that's going to go absolutely nowhere. Loss of 3, maybe 4. Actually, no, I don't think that was Washington. That guy looked a little bit smaller. But we'll see. We got 2nd and 12. Quick throw to the left. And that's going to be a gain of about 7, I believe. Getting it out there to the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Scotty Miller. I was debating starting Rachaad White today, and he has 10 points. Oh, jeez. Holy cow, man. Yeah, that's another thing, too, man. The Buccaneers, they're coming on a little bit there. I think they're finally they're changing that offense a little bit more to fit what they actually have. They've been dealing with some injuries, some big injuries at their receiver position. And Wilson going to throw it to the left and incomplete. Pretty sure he just got wrecked after that throw. So we got 4th and 4 coming up, and the Browns defense holding up again. Dude, Myles Garrett just utterly destroyed that left tackle, man. Just literally ran right around him. And we have a flag on the field here before even the formation is. Oh. Oh, okay, okay. So they're saying that was intentional grounding by Russell Wilson. That's a weird one. I mean, I get it that clearly he was not trying to get it to a receiver, but I mean, there is a guy within 10 yards of that. Yeah, that was a weird. That was like a very late penalty. All right, and the punt is only going to get it to about the 37 here. So the Browns going to have some really solid field position coming back here. And we're going to go to a commercial break with 4:34 left in the first. But yeah, man, going back to the Buccaneers, man, Rachaad White, he has been really solid for them. I believe they have Bucky Irving as well, and there's a third guy, I can't remember his name, but he was coming on late over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, that Buccaneers team has it. Once they lost Godwin, and they also lost oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. But they lost basically their top two receivers, man. It took them a while to get going. You could see Baker was trying to, I don't want to say do too much, but he was trying to compensate for the loss of playmakers. And he was like, man, you just got to trust these running backs, man. You have a nice staple. Are they perfect? No, they're not Saquon. They're not Derrick Henry, but each of those guys has a great skill set. And I think they're finally starting to figure out how to use those running backs. And Rachaad White and Bucky Irvin are really solid guys that you can get going in the passing game. But Cam, did you start Rachaad or did you put him on the bench this week? Oh heck yeah, let's go. Mm, yeah, and plus, especially with Swift being questionable, he's also going up against a solid San Francisco defense. I mean, the that whole San Fran team is kind of struggling with a lot of injuries, but their defense has at times played pretty darn well this season. So I think you went with the right choice there. And hopefully, man, already 10 points. Man, we barely started. We're only half an hour into these early games. So hopefully he's only starting out. Another delayed handoff this time to the left, and that's a gain of 4 for Nick Chubb. All right, we got 2nd and 6 here. Ball at the 41. Winston looking, throwing it over the middle, and that'll be incomplete. Trying to get it to number 86 there. Ooh. So that means it means the Vikings are playing pretty well right now. That's what that means. Oh man, I need the Vikings to lose this week, man. My Packers unfortunately couldn't get it done against the Lions on Thursday, man. 3rd and 6. Receiver in motion. Winston takes the snap, throws it to his receiver who's one on one, and it's going to be taken down for a loss. That play looked a little rough there. Heck of a job by Jackson, man, going one on one with Elijah Moore, taking him down for a loss. There is a flag on the field, though, and it's going to be roughing the passer in what should have been, what looked like it was going to be a 4th down coming up. Turns into a 1st down. I was looking at that one. Highsmith, So it wasn't an egregious tackle, but it was a dumb decision by Highsmith. He easily could have just avoided the contact. There was no need. The ball was out well after he hit him. So that wasn't necessarily about how bad the hit was. It was just a dumb decision by Smith to even make any kind of contact. So that'll be a 1st down for the Brownies here coming up. Yeah, hopefully primetime Kirk Cousins shows up today, man, because I need him and the Falcons to knock off the Vikings so the Packers can still keep pace. All right, we got 1st and 10, delayed handoff, and Chubb able to get maybe 2 yards on the play. That'll take it to the 42. They are in Pittsburgh territory at this point. Oh, catching the highlight of the Minnesota game. Oh, wow, man. They just completely whiffed on Addison. Yeah, I really got to do fantasy next year, man. I just didn't get a chance. The Falcons is tied up at 7. There we go. All right, man. Falcons keep pace, man. 2 receivers to the left, quick throw to the right, and that'll be incomplete. Trying to get it to Jerry Jeudy. And that'll be 3rd and 8 coming up for the Browns. Yeah, the Vikings, they're kind of like the Chiefs of the NFC, man. They don't look pretty. They don't look great on offense all the time. Sometimes that defense can kind of give up some points. But man, do they just find ways to win. They always just find ways to win this year. All right, 3rd and 3, ball at the 43. And the play is blown dead. There's a flag. It looks like it's going to be on the Browns here, I believe. Yep, delay of game. So now we got 3rd and 13 coming up. Ball back at the 47. Throw over the middle, trying to get it underneath, and they get it out to the 41. That was to Njoku. So even after the roughing the passer penalty, unfortunately not close enough for a field goal here, and the Browns are going to have to punt this one away. And the Browns are going to down it just inside the 10, down to about the 9, I believe. And we got 1:56 left in this first quarter, and we're going to go to a commercial break. But, man, so far, man, the defenses have been kind of ruling a little bit here. Obviously, there's a touchdown, there's a field goal, but there's been a lot of pressure on these quarterbacks. Yeah, but right now, the Browns have looked like the better team. Defensively, they seem to be getting consistent pressure on Wilson. Their coverage looks solid. Obviously, they've only given up 3 points on defense, but their offense, not just the touchdown, but they've been able to. Their drives have been a little bit longer. They have a little bit more of the possession. They just got to keep it going, man. Just got to keep it going. All right, looks like we're back from commercial break here. Jim Schwartz, Arthur Smith, two former head coaches. Arthur Smith, obviously the Falcons coach not too long ago. That did not end well for him, man. That was a tough one. The Panthers up 3. Holy cow, man. I mean, that Eagles deep offense, man. At times it looks, especially when Saquon is not really getting the ball out, being able to get the ball, they struggle, man. Those receivers and Jalen Hurts at times are not on the same page. It was a quick throw to the left here, and that was a big gain for the Steelers. So 2nd and 1 coming up. Single running back in the backfield. Another toss to the right this time. And Harris taken down in the backfield for a loss of 1. So 3rd and 2 coming up. Quick snap. Throw to the left. And that is going to be incomplete, man. Steelers offense struggling. Saquon only 8 yards, man. Holy cow. And that, to me, that is how you have a really good chance to beat this team. I mean, the defense for the Eagles has been phenomenal, especially over the last 2 weeks, man. They have been so darn good, and they have so many like their front seven is solid. Their young corners, their safeties are playing really good football, and it's gonna be returned here, making some moves, and that is Kadarius Toney making some yardage after catching that punt. But yeah, man, the way that you beat this team and the Eagles is you try to stop Saquon, which is easier said than done. Obviously, at this point, that's what most teams are trying to do. But then when you look at the stats and you look at the games, like the film tells you more of the story, man. Sometimes Hurts doesn't have the 350-yard games, but they looked efficient. But then there are times where you can clearly tell his guys are not on the same page, and that's what you kind of have to hope you get a little bit here. And then if you can slow down Saquon and have if Hurts can have a rough day, you're gonna have a great opportunity to beat this Eagles team. All right, we got three receivers to the right, shotgun for the Browns, handoff to the left, and Chubb patiently looking for a window and unable to get anything going. It's going to be a loss of one, maybe two on that one. Yeah, Pittsburgh just doing a great job of just stretching that one out. Not giving Nick Chubb any lanes to hit. All right, 2nd and 11. Two receivers to the right. Winston in the shotgun, ball at the 37. All right, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter here in Pittsburgh. With the score, Pittsburgh 3, the Cleveland Browns 7. Yeah, man, while we're on commercial break here, so I'm trying to think here. Pittsburgh, they've been able to run the ball relatively well, but they seem insistent on trying to get the big play down the field. And usually, anytime, especially these last couple, I wouldn't say these last couple weeks. Actually, the first couple weeks that Russell was starting for Pittsburgh, when you saw him just look and throw the ball down the field, it seemed like George Pickens was always there to catch something. And now over the last few weeks, that just hasn't happened. I think defenses are starting to catch on. They're playing that ball a little bit better, and this team is not built to really have things underneath, because the guys that they have don't really create a whole lot of yardage after the catch. Like their tight ends, Freiermuth, he's a solid tight end, but their other guys, if you hit them down like Darnell Washington, they're not guys that are going to be able to just turn and then just run for positive yardage. They're more of like inline tight ends, not necessarily blocking tight ends, but they're guys that are limited in terms of their explosiveness. If anything, I think we like to clown on Kadarius Toney for his time in KC, and don't get me wrong, some of it is warranted a little bit. He's a goofy kind of guy, but man, he could probably help out this Cleveland offense here to kind of get something going, some catches, some plays after the catch as well. 2nd and 11, Winston rolling to his right. And that'll be incomplete. 3rd and 11, man. Yeah, because right now this Browns offense, man, there's a lot of stuff underneath that's just not really being utilized. All right, we got three receivers on the right. Winston alone in the shotgun. Pressure. Throwing it to the left and incomplete. Trying to get it to his receiver. I believe that is Woods. And Bajorquez punt is away. It's gonna go into the end zone. Pitt gets the ball back at the 20. But a guy I would like to see kind of get some more action on the offense here for Pittsburgh is going to be Van Jefferson, man. I like his hands. I like his route running. I would like to see if they can get him going with some sluggo routes across the field, maybe a slant route. Because if he can, man, when he catches it in stride, that guy is a very smooth runner. I think he's more of a traditional guy that you would like to see catch something, within 10 yards. All right, Jefferson in motion to the left, shotgun for Pittsburgh. Takes the snap. Wilson pressured, and it's going to be incomplete, trying to get it to Darnell Washington. And we got a highlight from the Jets game, and that is Braylon Allen there, the former Wisconsin Badger, getting a handoff by Rodgers and then taking it into the end zone. 2nd and 10. Jefferson in motion, single back in the backfield for Pittsburgh, and that goes absolutely nowhere. The big man, number 99 for Cleveland, taking Warren down for a loss of what looks like 3 on the play. Officially loss of 5. So 3rd and 6. Wilson running, and it's going to slide at the 24. Saquon got tackled at the 1, and Jalen Hurts took the touch. 7-3. Eagles on top of the Panthers there. While the Eagles are scoring touchdowns in this game, we got a lot of punts. We got punt. So far, these defenses, man, they're ruling the day. Caught it at the 29. Kadarius Toney making guys miss. Nice little spin move, getting it out across the 45, down to about the 47. Kadarius Toney, man, making some yardage on these last 2 punt returns. I think he got about 18 on that last one. Hurts, man, especially with that tush push, man, stealing some touchdowns from Saquon. And then that Jalen touchdown, was that on 4th down or was that 3rd down? On third. Of course, of course. Yeah, man, that tush push, man. I remember, what was it, earlier last year, the teams were like starting to stop it more and more. But I don't know what they did this year, man. But that thing has been basically what it was 2 years ago when they went to the Super Bowl. It's almost unstoppable. There's been very few teams this season that have been able to stop that tush push. I feel like last year they were able to find. There was a couple more teams that were able to stop them, and I think the Buccaneers during that playoff game stopped it more than once. I think they stopped it either twice, maybe 3 times in that game. So Philly, man, changing things up there. And that's like some old school, like borderline rugby kind of play. Where it's just you put your head down, you put your shoulders, and you just run from behind your shoulder pads and just power through. All right, we got the Browns here coming up. 1st and 10, a ball at the 47. Single back in the backfield. Winston dropping back and intercepted. Ball at the 40, 35, and taken down at the 31. And oh boy, that is rough. And that is the former Wisconsin Badger, Keanu Benton. Let's go. I hate it, but let's go, man. Oh, man. Jameis Winston just cannot stop throwing interceptions. Yeah, that thing was red immediately. Benton was the nose tackle, basically in the middle of the field. And as soon as he saw the screen develop, he literally just drifted there. That's a rough one, man. They had great field position, too. So 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. Single receiver to the left. Quick throw and incomplete. Wilson and his receiver not on the same page on that one. They got it from a coach that played rugby. That makes sense. That makes sense. It's going to be a handoff. And who is this? Number 84 gets the handoff. Gain of about 3. Oh, was that Cordero Patterson there? Holy cow, I have not seen. I know he played in Atlanta for a couple years, but the last time I remember seeing him regularly was when he was with the Minnesota Vikings. That dude was a problem. Right now, Pittsburgh 0 for 5 on 3rd down, and they have a 3rd and 7 coming up. Ball at the 31. Throwing it deep down the field and incomplete. Trying to get it to Austin, but there is a flag in the secondary. I think this is going to be pass interference. Oh, yeah, 100%. Grabbing that jersey all the way down the field. Yeah, you can tell that this offense really misses George Pickens right now. All right, 1st and 10. Wilson under center, fakes the handoff, gets it out to his tight end on the screen to the 10, to the 5. And that's going to be about 2nd and 3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pat Freiermuth, man, got a little bit of wiggle. Got a little bit of wiggle there. Make some guys miss. Get some decent yardage. Oh, hey, I'll catch you later, Cam. Thank you, man. Thank you for popping in, dude. And hopefully the Browns can get a big victory for your Ravens. All right, Russell Wilson in the shotgun, three receivers to the left, trying to get it out, runs, and he's going to get the first down and be down at about the 1. All right, man. The old man still got a little bit here. Evaded a pass rusher and then just muscled his way all the way down to the 1. So we got first and goal for the Steelers coming up. Their best opportunity so far in this game to get a touchdown. All right, two receivers stacked up on the left, running back in the shotgun. And it's going to be a touchdown for Najee Harris, breaking the tackle and getting in to the end zone. And we have 11 minutes left in the second. Kick is up, and it is good, and the Steelers retake the lead here. All right. Commercial break. I'm going to go grab my phone because I do not know where I left it. So I will be right back. All right, we are back from commercial break. All right, Pittsburgh kicks it off, and the Browns will down it, get the ball at the 30. All right, 1st and 10, single receiver to the right. Winston in the shotgun, tight end in motion to the left. And pressure, and she's going to throw that one away. 2nd and 10 coming up, man. Of course, as soon as I say the the Browns were looking like the better team, now they are struggling to get anything going. Defense finally gave up a touchdown. The offense can't seem to find any kind of rhythm. There's a wide open Njoku running a crossing route from the left to the right. Two receivers to the left. And handoff to Chubb, and he's going to get about 5 yards. Looks like officially they're going to give him 4. Oh, sorry. No, that was Jerome Ford, it looks like. All right. 3rd and a long 5. We got Winston in the shotgun, throwing it deep down the field, and that is incomplete. Jeez. Basically just threw that one out of bounds. Didn't give his guy a chance to catch that one. All right, we're going to see Bojorquez back on the field. He punts this one, directional punt to the left. Going to be caught 15 and taken down at about the 19 is Austin. We got J.J. Watt up in the booth with it looks like his kid, teaching him how to throw that little terrible towel around, man. That was cute. All right, quickly looking around the league, we have the Titans leading the Jaguars 3-0, and we're almost at halftime during that game. That is a rough looking score. Thank goodness we're not streaming that one. All right, the Jets and the Dolphins in a fight here with little under 2:30 left in that game. 10-12. Falcons and Vikings 7-7. Saints leading the Giants 7-3 with 6 minutes in the second quarter. The Panthers, holy cow, man! They have the ball and they're up 10-7 over the Eagles with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers leading the Raiders 14-7. We got about 8:40 left in the second quarter in that game. So we got some really interesting scores and some really interesting potential upsets here. So as a Packer fan, we're looking for the Vikings to lose. Ideally, the Saints to lose as well and the Eagles to lose. All right, back to this game. Steelers. Wilson under center, single back in the backfield, ball at the 19. Handoff, and it's going to be good for about a yard by Warren. Run right up the middle. Big man Shelby Harris just taking him down for a very minimal gain. All right, we got 2nd and 8. Wilson in the under center. Single receiver to the right. Another handoff. Warren bouncing off guys, fighting for yardage, and that's going to be a gain of nearly 7.5 yards. That'll set up a 3rd and very short 2. Yeah, took a shot at about 2 yards and then just kept on going. And Wilson keeps the ball, cuts it inside, and that's a 1st down for the Steelers. Russell, man, with that nice little option keeper. Garrett went for the running back, and Wilson able to run around him and then cut it to the inside. All right, single receiver to the left, single back in the backfield. Wilson under center here, hands it off. Warren breaks the tackle, breaks another. He keeps it going and won't go down until he gets the 1st down. Gain of 12. Holy cow, man. Warren broke one. Let me see here. He broke 1 tackle, 2 tackles, spun out of another, lowered his shoulder, and then just drove, looks like Ward, about 3 or 4 yards down the field. All right. Single receiver to the right. Jefferson in motion. It's going to be handoff again up the middle, and that's going to be some decent yardage. Gain of 7, and depending on when they blew this whistle, maybe an extra yard. Oh, we got a snap. Oh, we almost got a fight here. We almost got a fight. Division rivals, man. I guarantee you it's going to happen at some point. All right, we got 2nd and 3. Warren back on the sideline, so we got Najee Harris in at running back. Toss up the middle, and Harris gets about 2 out of the 3 that they needed. All right, and the ball will be spotted at the 45 of Cleveland. Wilson under center, and it's going to take it, and the QB sneak is going to be good for the 1st down, gain of 2. All right, 2 receivers to the left. Wilson throwing deep down the left sideline, and it's going to get it to his man, Mike Williams, but there is going to be a flag because I'm pretty sure Mike Williams just threw the corner down. So that's going to be offensive PI. It wasn't a massive shove, but it was a shove for sure. All right, we have 1st and 20 after the penalty on Pittsburgh. Ball all the way back at the 46 of their own territory. Quick throw to Warren, who gets it, breaks the tackle, and gets it out across the 45 down to about the 43 of Cleveland. That's a nice gain of 13, man. Holy cow. So setting up a 2nd and 7 for the Steelers. All right, we got empty set for Pittsburgh. Two by two. Takes the snap, throws it, and incomplete. Trying to get it out to Warren, who was in the slot, and Hicks, the linebacker, just running downhill and smacks him for the incomplete. Dude, that looked like that hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that looked like that one hurt. Right on the hip too, man. Just like ah. All right, we got 3rd and 9 coming up. And a throw to the left, and Mike Williams with some strong hands catching it, but he's going to be about 2 or 3 yards shy of the 1st down. Caught it at about the 36, maybe the 37. So this is within range of Boswell. So he'll kick a 54-yarder. It is windy in this game, and the kick is up, and it is basically right down the middle. All right, Pittsburgh with a 6-point lead, their largest of this game. All right, we got 4:21 left before halftime. Let's go, man. Hopefully the Brownies can get something going here on this final, potentially final possession of the half for them. All right, we're back from commercial break. Boswell about to kick it off to the Cleveland Browns. So we have not really seen much from this Cleveland offense outside of that one touchdown drive. Even on the drives where they've had some really solid field position, can't seem to get much going. All right, take a knee, and Cleveland gets the ball at the 30. So the Browns at least need to be able to have a decent, even if they can't get a touchdown, they need to have at least a decent drive here to try to at least take as much time off as possible. Because the last thing you want to do is give the ball back to the Pittsburgh Steelers with time to either get something going before the end of the half. All right, 1st and 10. Jameis keeps this one on the option, and he's going to not go sliding down. And that's a gain of 11. 1st down. Let's go. Yeah, Jameis is definitely not a, what you would consider a true mobile quarterback like Lamar or even like Herbert. But man, the guy, he reminds me a little bit of like Aaron Rodgers when he was younger. He's got some wheels. He'll make you pay if you don't have somebody on him. It's gonna be a handoff to the left and gonna be good for about 5 yards. That is Nick Chubb on the carry, number 24. Three receivers on the right. Winston trying to buy some time. He will not be able to and be taken down for a sack. Absolutely nowhere to go with the ball, man. And with those, you just got to throw them away. Just throw them away, save the yards. And to be fair, I think it's probably a smart thing to do. Actually, now that I think about it, trying to kill as much clock as you can, but Pittsburgh is going to use a timeout here, so. Stops the clock at 3:01. So Wilson, 7 of 14, 39 yards. Jameis, 4 for 13, 62 yards, and the 1 touchdown and the 1 interception. We got 2 receivers to the right. Winston in the shotgun, 3rd and 12, coming up, ball at the 39. Pressure, rolling, throwing it down the field, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Cleveland Browns, man, finding his tight end. It's the big number 88 there. Great adjustment to the ball and catching it at around the 47. All right, 2 receivers stacked up on the right. Jerry Jeudy alone to the left. Winston gets the handoff. Nick Chubb breaks a tackle and keeps his legs going. And somehow, despite going backwards for an extra 5 yards, is able to make about 6, maybe 7 positive yards on that one. That was actually Jerome Ford, number 34. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning here. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. Cleveland finally getting something going here on offense. They're closing in on field goal position here. All right, we are back here. We got three receivers on the right, second and three. Ball at the 41, handoff. This time it is. Ooh, Jerome Ford with a first down. Heck of a job. Gain of 4, maybe 5 on that one. Seastrom! What's going on? What's going on, dude? How you doing? Oh, hey, all good, man. All good. Thank you. Thank you for popping in, dude. Trust me, man. The weekends, got to get stuff done. But happy to have you, buddy. All right, we got quick throw, and it's going to be two Njoku for maybe a yard on the play. Oh, and they're saying that was an incomplete pass, so they were interested in the Seahawks, Cardinals. Absolutely, man. That was a game that I was hoping to stream, but unfortunately, it's not going to be showing in my area. So, but yeah, man, that one for the late games was going to be probably one of the more interesting ones. Winston throwing it to the right, finds his man underneath, and gonna possibly get the first down, keeping his feet in bounds. Might be decisive over who wins the division. Also, absolutely, man. Oh yeah, you got family that pulls for the Steelers, man. You got some Yinzas in the family. Oh man, dude. Oh man, as a Packer fan, between the Seahawks and the 49ers, man, they have caused us so much pain. So I guess if I had to choose, I would rather face the Seahawks in the playoffs than San Fran. And it's gonna be a fake pass. It's gonna be a toss over the middle, and Strong able to get 3, maybe 4 yards on that carry. And the Cleveland Browns, with just 38 seconds, are gonna use their first timeout of the half. Yeah, that whole NFC West, man, it is just wild. Because I mean, that division and the NFC South are just basically they're up for grabs. I feel like the AFC, you already have the teams that are going to be able to make it. It's going to be the Bills, the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, and unless the Texans continue to struggle and they just collapse, they're probably going to win the division in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Second and 7, Winston throwing it deep down to the left and incomplete, trying to get it to Njoku. So that'll be third and 7 coming up. And then on top of that, so in the NFC West, you have the South, who technically the Panthers could still win the division if they win out, and the rest of the teams, either lose 2 to 3 games. And then the NFC West, basically anybody is up for grabs, like the Rams, the Cardinals, the 49ers, the Seahawks. They're all well within basically like 1 to 2 games of each other. So yeah, so the NFC race it's I think like the wild card teams are already kind of set. It's going to be Minnesota. Once again, this is assuming the Eagles and the Lions continue to win. So it's probably going to be in the wild card Minnesota, Green Bay, and Washington. And I know some NFC West teams have a chance at the wild card, but I mean, they would have to expect Green Bay or Washington to just kind of lose more than half of their final games here. Quick throw to the right, and it's going to be incomplete. Phenomenal defense by Elliott on that one. All right, we have Hopkins in for this field goal attempt. 28 seconds left, 4th and 7, and the kick is up. And it is no good, wide left. That wasn't a shank, but that thing definitely had a strong curve to it. That's got to be it. Oh man, that's disappointing, man. That was such a good drive. Yeah, that thing was probably about 4, maybe 5 yards left, and the wind took it for sure. Those flags were basically sideways. But Seastrom, who do you have going up in the NFC West, and who is your team that you think is going to win the NFC South? Let me know. If I had to pick, I think it's going to be Tampa. And while I trust Seattle to win it out, if they don't, I think it's going to be. I think it might be the Cardinals, honestly. I like the Rams. I think they're a better, more consistent team, but I think their schedule is a lot tougher down the stretch. So, yeah, Tampa Bay and Seattle, I think, are my teams. Otherwise, I got to back up with the Cardinals there in the NFC West. Buxton, yep, sounds about right. I don't think anybody trusts the Falcons anymore, man. They have looked rough. Quick throw to Wilson to the left, trying to keep it going. Then it looks like they're not going to call a timeout, and we're going to go to halftime here. All right. The halftime score, 13-7 here in Pittsburgh. But yeah, man, I'm right there with you. The Bucks have looked a little bit better over the last couple of weeks. They seem to be getting some momentum. The Falcons, man, who knows? They might beat the Vikings. I hope they do, but they have looked rough. All right, let's look around the league really quickly. Look at some scores while we're at halftime. So Titans and Jaguars heading into the third here. Still 3-0. It's a rough game, man. That's a rough game, especially with the Jaguars losing Lawrence for basically what looks like the year. That's gonna be a rough one for them. I think we're gonna see the end of the Doug Peterson experiment. Even though you could argue these last couple games are not a fair indication of what this team could be, but fortunately the first 12 are, and they have not looked good. I think they lack definitely some talent on offense. They lack some depth at that defense. But man, he's been there for. Is this a third year with Peterson? I believe. But yeah, man, it just hasn't worked out. And I think Doug Peterson is a good coach. I really do. I don't think you win a Super Bowl by accident. But he's a guy that I don't know if he's one of the greats of head coaches for sure. But I think he's a guy that is if you're a team that needs to get out of the muck or is kind of like almost there to ascending into like some, especially a young team, I think that's what Peterson does well. He develops guys pretty well. I think he can bring some guys up a little bit. And I'm trying to think like a franchise that might need him would be, even though he may not fit that mold, the Raiders could use a guy like him, especially if they're going to start rebuilding. But I'm trying to think of other teams. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a tough one for the Jaguars. It's they're kind of in a weird situation where they've already paid their quarterback. They seem to be they seem to have gotten worse. And Lawrence, man, he's been solid this year. He hasn't had as bad of a year as some of his like last year was really bad. He dealt with injuries, but he's been dealing with injuries for a long time now. But yeah, that's the Jaguars. They are struggling, and I think this season is just going to be, let's just get to the end. The Jets trailing 13-15 over against the Dolphins. Dolphins, man, they need to get back on track, man. They have an outside chance to make the playoffs, but if they lose to today, I think that's going to be kind of it for their playoff hopes. Plus, you don't want to lose to the Jets. All right, we have the Vikings on top of the Falcons, 14-10 at halftime. Saints and Giants, 7-3. Those are two offenses, two teams that had higher hopes this season, and for one reason or another, just it's not there, man. Eagles on top, 14-10 over the Panthers. A lot closer than I think most teams. Most people were thinking. But to be fair, man, the Panthers have looked a lot better defensively and offensively. And I mean, this is a team that nearly beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who you could argue are not playing great football, but still they're tied for the best record in the NFL, and they took them basically to the wire. And then the final score that we're looking at here: Raiders, Buccaneers, 14-10. Bucks obviously need to get a win here. They're currently, I believe, tied for that division lead with Atlanta. So with Atlanta, if they lose, Buccaneers definitely need a win to try to get some extra space. All right, but talking about the game that we are currently streaming, the Browns. I mean, offensively, they've only had two decent drives. One of them being that last one where they missed the field goal. They've been, I mean, their running game has been kind of up and down. I would like to see if they can get Jerome Ford in there. He seems to be getting a little bit more positive yardage than Nick Chubb. I think just the defenses are really focused on Chubb when he's on. He's a guy that who has he's been okay this year. I think he's still kind of recovering from that nasty knee injury, and sometimes it does take an extra year to get back. But you never know with running backs, man. One major knee injury and they just don't look like they used to. And I hope that's not the case, man. Nick Chubb is just a really exciting player. When he's on, man, he looks so darn good, man. He's fun to watch. So hopefully next year he kind of looks a little bit closer to what the running back that we are accustomed to seeing. But the Browns definitely need to try something a little bit different. The throws down the field are not working. There's pressure in Winston's face after just 2 seconds, and they need to get the running game going. Defensively for the Browns, I think they're doing okay. Man, they've only given up one touchdown. Looks like Pittsburgh's offense is really starting to figure it out here, so we'll see what it looks like in the second half. But the defense for the Browns so far done a great job of getting pressure. Their coverage is solid. But the thing that the Steelers have been able to do against this defense, especially in the second quarter, is run the ball more effectively. You're starting to see, Warren. You're starting to see Harris break off some, instead of 2 yards, it's becoming 4 and 5 or 6. And they're getting Warren especially. They're getting him involved in the passing game, and he's been able to pick up some decent yardage after the catch. And I'm trying to think here for the Browns. For the Steelers offensively. I think the passing game is not going to be there today. You're without George Pickens, who is your best deep threat. I think I think your second best deep threat would be might be Calvin Austin, even though he's a little bit of a limited in terms of the routes that he can run, but he has the speed to kind of break, uh, you know, go through the top of that defense there. But you gotta scheme him up. Maybe some high-low concepts where he's running a deep post route. Then you might have Mike Williams coming underneath. I'm trying to think here. Pat Fryermuth, they haven't really gotten him involved too much. He's been pretty solid when he does have the ball in his hands. But for the most part, man, if they can get that running game going, that's going to be able to be a massive, massive boost for them in the second half. Warren has looked good. Harris, he started out really hot and then kind of gave way to Warren in that second quarter. But I think both of those backs are going to be a key factor in what this team, how successful this Pittsburgh offense is in the second half. I don't think we're going to see Russell Wilson throwing for 3 or 4 touchdowns, over 400 yards. I think this is going to be one of those games where the running game is going to have to be the thing that carries you. And right now, the Pittsburgh defense, man, really solid, man. Pressure, Winston, like I said, almost instantaneous. The running game for the Cleveland Browns has not really been there. You're seeing these guys get hit almost immediately after the handoff for some big losses, and the coverage has been pretty good. Yeah, overall, the second quarter was a big boost for the Steelers. So if they can kind of continue to play like that, like they did in the second quarter, even just into the third, I think they're going to be able to pull away just a little bit here. But yeah, the final slate of games here today is going to be obviously Chicago, San Francisco. That's going to be the afternoon game that we stream. Then we're going to finish off today with the Chargers in Kansas City. Should be a should be a pretty decent matchup, I believe. I'm going to be very curious to see how that Chargers defense plays because they have been. I think they are still the number one defense in the NFL in terms of points given up. I think they're giving up maybe 14 or less. So they have been really solid. Granted, the Chargers offense has really struggled the last 2 weeks without J.K. Dobbins. Their points have gone down a little bit. But when you have a guy like Herbert, when you have a receiver like Lad McConkey, who's playing pretty darn well, he actually played really well last week as well. So if they can get any kind of semblance of running game going, and if Herbert can play to the potential that he's, or at least to the standard that he has set for the most part in his career. It's going to be a very close game over there in Kansas City. And then finally, Monday night, Bengals Cowboys. That's going to be an interesting one. You have the Bengals who just you thought even after they started 0-3, you're like, okay, this team is going to figure it out eventually. They're going to get the wins. But there's been so many games. The Kansas City game, the Steelers game last week. Just so many games where they almost win, but they don't. And I think that's just been their season. They're no longer, the offense is playing a lot better. That defense, unfortunately, still not playing great. I think that's one big thing that's just keeping them from winning these games that they should win. But I don't think it's going to be the Bengals season, and I'm going to be very curious to see what the Cowboys do, because right now I believe they are riding a 2-game winning streak. I think the last time we saw them, they won on Thanksgiving, and I think the previous week they actually beat the Commanders as well. So, all right, we got a kickoff here. It's going to be returned to the 30. Oh, it's going to be a great return. He's still on his feet, and he's going to be deep into Pittsburgh territory, and that is the big man, Jerome Ford. I could not see where we were exactly on the field because they had that weird camera angle where it's not from the sides. But Jerome Ford breaking 2 tackles. I think I just saw the kicker try to slide tackle him. Yep. Yep. Boswell definitely went in there for the slide tackle. He was trying to play some soccer around here. All right, Cleveland, 1st and 10 at the 39 of Pittsburgh after that great return, and they're going to hand it off to Nick Chubb, who gets it to the 35, gain of 4. And we're going to get a penalty here. It looks like it's going to be on Joey Porter Jr. Personal foul. And just waiting on the official call. It is unnecessary roughness on number 24, so tack on an extra 15 on that one. All right, we got 2 receivers to the right. Judy alone to the left. Winston in the shotgun, ball to 21. Handoff, Nick Chubb getting it inside the 20 down to about the 17. All right, 2 receivers to the right. Receiver in motion now to the right. Handoff again. Nick Chubb weaving his way, but only able to get about 2 yards. Got it to about the 16. So we got 3rd and 4. Judy alone to the left. 2 receivers to the right. Winston throwing it deep down the field, and that is going to be caught at the 1. But it's going to be offensive PI for the Browns. I was that offensive PI? I don't think it was, man. All right, we got 3rd and 14 coming up for the Browns. Great return. Obviously, the personal foul on the Steelers put them in great position. And Jameis drops the ball, needs to scramble, rolling to his right, and throws it, and incomplete. Trying to get it to Jerome Ford, who was well covered. And Cleveland is going to have to settle for a field goal attempt here. Well, that was a rough one, man. That was a rough one. All right, Hopkins in to attempt his second. Missed the first one just before the half. Kick is up, and this one is going to go wide right. First one went wide left. Now he misses to the right. And right there, man, 6 points missed. We got 12:40 in the third quarter. And, dude, that's a rough one for Hopkins. I mean, he's been pretty darn reliable this season, but man, dude, that's especially in a game this close. You gotta make those, man. Especially that one. The other one, you can kind of make an argument. It's windy, it's late in the season, 50 plus yards, but this one well within his range and just not even close. Yeah, man, and that's really disappointing, man. First, the big return by Jerome Ford. Then you get the personal foul that gets you basically at the door of the 20. You were looking good. And then to come away with no points after that, after all of that, just deflating. 'All right, we are back. Wilson under center. Single receiver to the left. Single back in the backfield. Play action. And trying to set up here a screen to the running back, and that goes absolutely nowhere. Wilson just dirting that one. Second and 10, two receivers to the left. Jefferson in motion. Wilson in the shotgun. Handoff to Najee, and it's taken down after a gain of just 1. All right, we got 3rd and 10. 2 receivers on the right. Wilson in the shotgun. Need to get the ball to the 43. Wilson scrambling, throwing it over the middle, and finds his man, Pat Freiermuth, down at the 46 of Cleveland. That is a first down. Initially, Pat was down the right seam and then kind of curled it out, almost like a little outside curl route, and then saw Russell scrambling, cut it to the inside. It's going to be a run by Warren, breaks a tackle, keeps it going, and that is a gain of 15 by the running back, who has been getting hotter in this game. Holy cow. He wasn't even touched until about 7 yards down the field, and then was able to make an extra 6 or 7 yards off of that one. All right, ball at the 32. Single back in the backfield. Russell in the under center. Another handoff. Warren with some huge momentum gets it out across the 35. Sorry, out across the 30, down to about the 27. Second and 6. Single receiver to the right. Play action. Quick throw underneath to the running back. He's to the 20 and out across the 15 down to about the 14. And Jaylen Warren is just picking up massive chunks of yardage here. Wilson hitting him in that flat route to the left. Literally nobody made contact until about the 20. All right, single receiver to the right. Wilson in the shotgun. Quick throw to the left. Gets it out to his receiver. I believe that is Austin for a gain of 4 down to the 10. All right, second down. They need to get the ball to the 4 for a first down. Wilson in the shotgun, tight formation. And Wilson keeps it and then throws to a wide open Van Jefferson down the right seam. Literally nobody went with Jefferson. He was just basically standing right on the goal line. Holy cow, man. And like I said, man, got to get Jefferson involved, man. He has been one of their best route runners this season. Good hands. Yeah, Jefferson was just lost, man. He ran like 2 or 3 yards, and then the entire time he was looking back at Wilson and just like slowly backpedaling. But nobody noticed him. Nobody went with him. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, making this a 2-possession game with the extra point. up by a full 13. That was a great drive by the Pittsburgh Steelers, but that was an amazing drive by Jaylen Warren, man. Getting it done on the ground and through the air. So if you're a Cleveland player, this is not where you want to be, man. The Steelers, especially on defense, man, once they have a lead, they really start getting aggressive. That front seven starts taking more chances, and they got talented guys, man. They really do. And the way that secondary has been playing, been able to keep it tight, keeping those guys just kind of. I mean, when you look at Winston, man, he has not been able to really find anybody down the field. And he's been relatively safe with the ball outside of that one bad interception. Granted, you don't expect a 300-pounder to just disengage from a from a pass rush and then just undercut you on a screen route. But man, he has been relatively conservative with his throws. And I think pretty soon you're going to start seeing Winston really starting to take some chances, and that might open up some opportunities for more picks. Especially if his receivers can't challenge for the ball, can't get open, because you're going to have to throw the ball down the field, man. Your running game has not been effective. You know, it'd be one thing if, Nick Chubb or even Jerome Ford were able to really start breaking off some massive runs, but that hasn't happened in this game, so you're going to have to rely on, just taking chances down the field. Yeah, that route by Jefferson, man, it was basically a stick route, it looked like, but then he just kind of drifted, almost like a stuttering corner route there. Quick throw to the left and gain of about 6, maybe 7 for the Browns. That was Jerome Ford on the playing wide out here at this point. Oh my goodness. The the Panthers are leading the Eagles. It looks like 17-14. Wow. All right, Winston in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right. Fakes the handoff, quick throw, and Elijah Moore making a man miss and getting the first down. And it looks like we have a Pittsburgh Steeler down on the ground here. So yeah, hopefully the dude's okay. Stops the clock at 7:49, and we're going to go to a commercial break. All right, let's continue to look around here. The league, Jaguars finally getting some points, but it's still 3-6 heading into the fourth, well into the fourth quarter here with the Titans. The Jets take the lead 20-15 over the Dolphins with 6 minutes left in the third. Vikings in a battle with Kirk Cousins, 21-13. That is in the final 3 minutes of the third quarter. Saints and Giants still has not changed since halftime, 7-3. And it looks like the Panthers either went for 2 or missed it, or missed the extra point because it is 16-14 with about a minute left in the third. And the Raiders and Buccaneers, final 2 minutes of the third has not changed since halftime, so 10-14. All right, man. So we got, outside of this game, man, everything else is within one score. All right. Cleveland back, 1st and 10, ball at the 43. Handoff, and Chubb lucky to get back to the line on that one. All right, we got 3 receivers on the left. Going to be another handoff, and Chubb trying to break it off, and going to get maybe 5 yards on the play. All right, so we got 3rd and 4 coming up. Quick throw, and gets it out to Njoku, who I think is going to be a full yard shy. So they're saying 4th and 1, but I think it's going to be about half a yard that they need. If you're the Browns, man, got to go for it here. You're not making the playoffs. And it's going to be a run, and it's going to absolutely go nowhere. Jerome Ford taken down for a loss of 4, maybe 5, but it doesn't matter because it didn't pick up the first down, and that is a turnover on downs. You need a 4th. You need it inches, man, like half a yard. Just run it with Jameis. He's a big quarterback, and then you have 3 guys behind him who can push him. Yeah, that was a perplexing play by the Browns. All right, man. Well, Pittsburgh is going to have a great opportunity here to potentially push this game to a 3-score game and likely out of reach for the Browns, man. They have not looked great. Been able to move the ball on a couple drives, but when they've ended in field goals, they've missed. All right, two receivers to the left. Handoff. Harris stumbling and still able to get 3 yards on the play. Second and 7, single receiver to the right. Harris in the backfield. Wilson under center. It's going to be another handoff. And Harris able to get another 1.5 to maybe 2 yards. So sets up a 3rd and 6 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, we got two receivers on the right. Wilson in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looking, throwing deep to the left, and that is going to be a catch, I believe, by Mike Williams. One-handed. Back shoulder throw. He just snatched that one. Holy cow, man. That was smooth, man. That was smooth. All right, 1st and 10 after that deep ball down the field, down to the 20 of Cleveland. Wilson scrambling, and I think he got it out, but it's going to be incomplete. He was basically falling down after almost getting sacked. All right, two receivers stacked up on the left. We got Kelvin Austin in motion to the right. Wilson looking, throwing it down the seam, and that is a touchdown to Pat Freiermuth. Hot dang, dude, that was a strike. Oh, I think it's going to be coming back. It's going to be coming back. His knee was down, and I think the ball was just shy. Oh, no. Never mind. I was wrong. Because the extra point is up, and it is good. Might have been the angle. Might have been the angle that they were showing. Let's see here. All right, man. We got 3:51 left in the third quarter, and this game is quickly getting out of hand. Yeah, this is the game that you needed if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You needed to be able to play a division rival and not just win, but borderline dominate. And the Browns muffed the punt here. Sorry, muffed the kick. But it's in the end zone, so they'll still get the ball at the 30. All right. Play action for Winston, throwing it to the right and gets it out to Jerry Jeudy for a gain of about 13. All right, man. The Browns with some high tempo. They're down 20 points here, man. They got to get moving. Winston in the shotgun, quick throw. Jeudy, good for about 3 yards. And a handoff up the middle. Chubb has some room down to the 40 and going to be officially taken down at the 37. Just a nice cut up inside. Had a lot of space. Made a nice little stutter step at around the 45. And all right, the Browns are moving. Ball around the 37, 1st and 10. Winston looking and not finding anybody, throwing it away. Yeah, man. David Njoku has had a rough game so far, man. Only 3 catches for 9 yards. We're used to seeing him, especially the last couple of weeks, man. Seems to be able to get into the end zone, make some decent catches over the middle. But right now, not today. And a handoff to Chubb, and he's going to be good for maybe 3 yards. It's going to be a flag on the field here. That can't be delayed game. Oh, okay. Illegal shift. All right. Honestly, it might be for the best because that play only gained about 2 yards. All right, we got 2nd and 15. The 2 receivers to the left. Winston in the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff. And Jerome Ford able to get some decent yardage there. It's going to make it a 3rd and slightly manageable for the Browns coming up. All right, we still got 90 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 8. Browns just 2 of 9 on 3rd down. Pittsburgh sends 6. Quick throw, and they're going to get it to the backup tight end. He's going to be downed about half a yard shy. Oh, no, sorry. That was Njoku. All right, we got 4th and inches here, and Winston literally falling over to get the first down, gain of a full 1.5. All right, we got 5 seconds left. They take the snap. We're going to try to run one more play here in the third, and that'll be incomplete, trying to get it to Njoku down the right seam. They don't get it, and it stops the clock with 2 seconds left. That should have been defensive PI right there. I've seen a lot worse. I've seen a lot later get called. 2 receivers to the left. It's going to be a run with Nick Chubb to the right, and he's going to be good for about 9 yards. So 3rd and 1 coming up when we come back in the fourth quarter. All right, man, I need more caffeine, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll be right back. And we got 3rd and 1, and oh man, it's been a rough game for the Cleveland Browns. False start. And that was on the right guard there. Winston looked over to him. He's like, dude, are you serious right now? Are you serious? So we got 3rd and 6. Initially empty set, but we got 3 receivers on the left. Winston looking, trying to scramble. He can't. He's going to be taken down for a sack, a loss of 3. We got 4th and we got to fight. We officially got to fight. Oh man, they broke it up. Come on. If there's going to be a flag, I want to fight. No, I'm kidding. Luckily, nobody got hurt. It's going to be on the Browns here. Offensive lineman punched somebody in the head. Fortunately, that penalty is likely going to take them out of field goal range. That was against Ifedi. And the Cleveland Browns in to punt this one away. And phenomenal punt by Corey Bojorquez. Hits the 3, and I think it does bounce back, but it's going to be around the 4, maybe the 5. All right, officially at the 4, 1st and 10 for the Steelers. This is by far their worst starting field position. And it's going to be a run up the middle. Initially bumped into his own guy, but Patterson able to make some decent yardage, gain of 3, maybe 4 there by the former Minnesota Viking. And oddly enough, both of his former teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, are actually going up against each other right now. Single back in the backfield, Wilson under center. Another handoff to Patterson. Good for about a yard. All right, we got 3rd and 5, ball at the 9-yard line. Empty set for the Steelers. Tight end in motion. Wilson lobbing it up to the left, and that'll be incomplete, out of bounds. All right, with this deep punt here, Browns should have some decent field position this coming off offensive drive. Punt is away. Oh, it is amazing. And it's going to be fair caught at the 36. All right, man. The Browns. At this point, I don't know what they can do to really get back into this game. They're looking decent on that last drive, and then just kind of fell apart. Big mistakes. Not only in terms of the execution of the plays, I mean, it was 3rd and 1, and you were already in field goal range, and then you false start, move back 5 yards. The next play doesn't gain anything. It actually loses yards because you got sacked, and then of course, personal foul, moving back 15 yards. So, in a span of just 2 plays, they ended up losing what amounted to about 25 yards, and completely took them out of field goal range. And granted, their kicker has not been able to get anything thus far. But still, man, that was whew. Look at all those terrible towels, man. So, speaking of Kadarius Toney, he got a flag for throwing the ball at a team against one of the players on the Steelers side. I thought he was throwing it to a ref, just the way he basically lobbed it up there, and he really wasn't even looking. I don't think that he was trying to hit him, but I'm not 100% sure because when you look at it, the nearest ref was like almost 15 yards away, and that ball only traveled like 5 or 6 yards. But it was a weird one, man. It was yeah, I don't know, and it wasn't like a hard throw. Like it wasn't like intent. It didn't look intentional, but I don't know. So we got so instead of getting it at the 36, they get it at the 21. Winston alone, throw over the middle, takes a shot at the as he threw that one. Free pass rusher, and then there's a flag, and it's add insult to injury, losing 5 yards. Oh man, these refs have it out for the Browns because he just said false start will be enforced on the play, 3rd down. That was a 1st down play, my dude. These referees are trying to steal two downs from the Browns on here. So before even running an actual play, they have lost 20 yards. Browns, quick throw. Gets it out to his receiver, who's going to get about 6 or 7 yards back. All right, we got 2nd and 9 coming up here. Ball at the 22. Winston alone in the shotgun. Pressure immediate and just needs to dirt that one. It'll be 3rd and 9. All right. Similar formation, empty set, tight. Formation, has time over the middle, tries to get it underneath to, I believe that is Jerry Jeudy, who fights for some decent yardage. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up, I believe. And I mean, go for it. There we go. There we go. They're going for it. There's less than 12 minutes left. You're down by 20. This game will likely knock you out of the playoffs, even if you know. And it's going to be caught by Njoku, and I believe he got the first down. Smart play, man. Taking a knee basically right at the spot. Getting down immediately. And looks like Mike Tomlin is going to throw the challenge flag here to see if they got the first down. To me, it looked like he was basically past the marker even by almost half a yard. Oh, I think it looks like they gave him the additional yardage apparently after he got up and ran. So I don't know. I mean, either way, I think it's a first down, even if you don't give him the extra yardage. When he caught it and was downed, he was basically at the marker or slightly past it. So, should be a first down when we come back. So there's something I wanted to talk about too was the potential that Bill Belichick might be going to the college ranks, man. That's going to be very interesting what he he does. I think there was one of the pregame shows. I forgot who it was. Was it? It might have been Tom Brady or it might have been Edelman, where they were like in person. They were basically like doing a little skit, and they're like, Belichick was like, he's in the prospect's home. He's trying to recruit him. He's like, yeah, we don't really need you, but if you want a scholarship, we'll give you one, but we don't need you. So I thought that was funny, man. It'd be very interesting to see Belichick in the college ranks, how he does. So so it was overturned, but it's still going to be a first down for Cleveland. I think they just moved the ball back a little bit, but that was a heck of a catch, man, by the referee, man, one handed. And play action. Winston keeps the ball, and he's going to run for the first down, gain of about 10, maybe 11 on that one. Jim Schwartz looks absolutely pissed right now, man. And granted, his defense has given up 27 points. So that's kind of fair, but man. Plus Schwartz, I think I might be wrong. Wasn't he with Philly for a couple years after he left? After he was fired, actually, from Detroit. So we got first and 10, ball at the 41, three receivers on the right. Winston looking, patting the ball, and incomplete. Trying to get it to Njoku. That was a heck of a job by Patrick Queen, man. Gave Njoku inside leverage, but then it was able to undercut the route and bat the ball away. Second and 10. Pittsburgh showing some weird stuff here. It's going to be a handoff, and it's going to go absolutely nowhere. Nothing good. Jerome Ford, loss of 3. And Nick Herbig there to bring him down in the backfield, the former Wisconsin Badger. One of many Wisconsin Badgers on the Pittsburgh defense. All right, we got 2 receivers on the right. Quick throw underneath Njoku, and he's going to get out across the 45. But that will set up a fourth down for Cleveland here. All right, Pittsburgh showing pressure here. They send 5. Cleveland finds a man, and that is Elijah Moore for a first down. Nice little throw to the left sideline. Is that a flat route? Yes, it was. A little flat route. It kind of turned it upfield a little bit. All right. Shotgun throw to the sidelines, and that is Jerry Jeudy with a nice catch of about 7. Looks like a couple plays ago, T.J. Watt coming up with a little bit of a limp, but he is back on the field. So we'll see. We're going to check it out, see how he moves. 2 receivers to the right. Watt surprisingly staying in coverage, and Winston able to run for the first down the right side. Nice gain of about 4. The former first overall pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, getting the necessary yardage there to keep this drive alive. All right, we got first and 10, ball at the 33. Quick throw over the middle and able to get it to, I was like, I don't know, number 11. I'm not sure who that is. But he got it inside the 30. That's a catch of about 5. 2nd and 5. Winston looking, throwing down the field, wide open. And that is a Prochet, the second there. All right. Basically ran like a little bit of an out route, kind of a comeback route on the right sideline, able to get the first down. Ball at the 15, 1st and 10, empty set for Cleveland. Winston has time, throws it to the right, and that is a touchdown for Njoku. Nice. Heck of a job, man. Just inside that right pylon to the right. Dude, the body control of Njoku, man, is just wild, man. All right, extra point is up, and it is right down the middle. And the Browns get a little bit closer here. We got 7:19 left in the game. All right, let's look around the league. And the Jaguars coming back, beating the Titans 10-6 after being down 3-0 for most of that game. It looked like that was an ugly game, man. Ooh. All right, we got Hopkins setting up for this kickoff. So the Jets and the Dolphins with 7:33 left in that game, almost halfway through the fourth quarter. They are tied up at 23 all. And the kick goes out the back of the end zone, and the Steelers will get the ball at the 30. All right, we got 4 minutes left in the Vikings game. Vikings and Falcons. Vikings on top 35-21. So they are going to keep pace with the Detroit Lions. And it looks like they're going to be 2 games ahead, or 2.5 games ahead of the Green Bay Packers. 3:46 left in the Saints and Giants game. That is a 14-9 game. Saints on top. We got 1st and 10. Single back in the backfield. Single receiver to the right. Freiermuth in motion. And a handoff to Harris, who is going to be taken down for a loss of 1. And that was the linebacker number 59, Winston Reed, with a nice one-on-one tackle. Two receivers to the left. Hand off to Warren, who is going to be good for about 3 yards. Keeps the clock rolling. Approaching 6 minutes left in this game. Cleveland still down by 13. And with less than 1 minute left in the fourth quarter, Panthers have the ball, and they are down 16-22 to the Philadelphia Eagles. So they have an opportunity with the touchdown and the extra point to upset one of the best teams in the NFL. Pressure, throwing it down the field, and it's going to be, it's going to be close. His body was definitely out of the bounds, but did Scotty Miller get both feet in bounds before going out? Oh, and he did. And I mean barely, man. Barely able to get both. I mean, it was bang, bang. And to be fair, Cleveland is going to challenge this one. I think they're going to lose it. But, man, that was a tough one. And to be fair, I guess if you're gonna use a timeout anyway, you might as well challenge it and see what you get. And with less than 2 minutes, the Buccaneers were able to pull away from the Raiders, 27-13. Not much time left. Packer fans remember when Scotty Miller made a great catch for a touchdown in the NFC Championship game against the Packers, utterly destroying Kevin King. Still have nightmares about that. All right, that was a catch, a first down, and the clock is stopped at 5:32. Steelers in Cleveland territory, up by 2 scores. I mean, at this point, all they got to do is just kill the clock. Cleveland did lose a timeout on that failed challenge attempt. A lot of motion, snap, toss, and Harris able to fight his way for some positive yardage. It looked like he was going to be taken down for a loss, man, but broke 2 tackles and made something positive out of that one. And it's going to be another. Oh, it's a fumble. And it's picked up by Cleveland. Oh, oh no. Oh, they were trying to be cute, man. They were trying to do a little bit of a play action. They handed it off to Cordero Patterson, who was basically running to the right. And then that ball literally just got punched right out there by number 57, McGuire, and they recovered by Myles Garrett. Hot dang. All right. Ball at the 50. Cleveland. They got to score quickly here. They still have 2 timeouts. If they can get scored before the 2-minute warning, technically they'll have 3 to use against the offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And breaks a tackle, and Ford, who was going to be taken down after a gain of about 6, maybe 7, stays on his feet and fights for the first down. Clock is still rolling. 1st and 10 at the 40. Winston in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right. Throwing it down the right sideline and intercepted. Trying to throw it down the seam, and it just ends up overthrown. And just like that, Jameis Winston, one of his favorite pastimes, making some turnovers. The bakery is wide open here in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that was a weird route by Moore, man. He never really started like running. All right, we got 1st and 10, single receiver to the left. Going to be a handoff. Harris trying to bounce it out to the right side and will be taken down for about a half a yard loss. And it looks like Cleveland is going to use a timeout here. All right, officially the Panthers come up just short against the Philadelphia Eagles, losing 16-22. It looks like with 30 seconds left, Tampa Bay is going to come away with a big victory over the Raiders, 28-13. Single back in the backfield, single receiver to the right. And it's going to be a run up the middle and a gain of about 2 for Jaylen Warren. Oh, man, Minnesota absolutely crushing the Falcons, 42-21. I never noticed how spaced out Tony Romo's eyes are. Just noticing that now. So we got 3rd and 9, 2 receivers to the right. Tight end in the slot to the left. Looks like this might be a false start on the Steelers. So moving them back. All right, 3:48 left. Wilson needing to roll on, and he's going to get sacked by Myles Garrett. Garrett, man, with a beautiful inside spin move and then able to bounce it out. Jesus, man. Garrett is he's a different kind of human being, man. And the Steelers looking to take this one as far as they can before using a timeout. Able to take the clock all the way down to 3:03. And Pittsburgh punting this away. Great punt. Holy cow, he muffs it. And it's recovered by the Steelers. Kadarius Toney muffing that one. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Any kind of hope of making this one somewhat interesting just ended with that one. That was just a great punt. Toney had to just backpedal as much as he could. And he had the ball in his hands, but he clearly lost his balance. And just the ball went right through his arms, man. Yeah, never got his feet set. Jeez, man, that is rough. Dude, not only was that ball just deep down the field, man, it was hanging in the air for so long that as soon as the ball hit the ground, there was a Steeler within basically 7 or 8 yards and just dove for it, man. Quick run to the left, and Harris trying to stay in bounds, but he can't. Immediately taps on his chest saying, "That's on me. That's on me." Stops the clock with 2:48. That's a rough one for Toney, man. He definitely gets some flack for some of his antics, man, but that's always a terrible feeling when you make a big mistake like that. And a run up the middle gains maybe a yard. And this clock will be taken down all the way to the 2-minute warning. There's literally half a second difference, it looks like. So they're going to be able to take this to the 2-minute warning. we are back. So it's going to be third down here. Pittsburgh can get a first down technically when they get it to the 10. Otherwise, they're going to be able to roll off plenty of time off this clock. Wouldn't surprise me for a play action here. Nope. It's going to be a toss to Harris. He's going to get the first down and more, taken down at the 6. And that is it. Cleveland can't stop the clock. First down. And the Steelers are going to be able to take just a pair of kneel downs, I should say. And that's going to be it, man. Pittsburgh going to be moving on to 10-3 on the year. One kneel down. And so far, man, since Russell Wilson has been named, since he was named the starter, Steelers have gone 6-1 in the 7 games that he has started for them. Everybody was questioning Mike Tomlin, man. They're like, "Hey, man, you're 4-2. You look okay. Why are you gonna change up to a quarterback that his 2 seasons in Denver, he looked like either one of the worst or at the very least one of the more average quarterbacks in the NFL. So far, 6-1 as a Pittsburgh Steeler. And the final kneel down, and that is it. Crazy, crazy game here. In the end, it got a little saucy there. There was a couple turnovers, but for the most part, man, Pittsburgh, after the first quarter, they were in control from the second all the way to the end. Yeah, the defense, Pittsburgh's defense, bouncing back after a rough game against the Bengals, giving up 38. All right, and we got 41 seconds left in the Miami and Jets game, so we're going to stay here. Dolphins on offense, ball at the 46. Quick throw, quick strike, and that is to Tyreek Hill, who gets the first down, and they are in Jets territory. The Browns defense was solid against the Steelers, but just nowhere near good enough in the second half, giving up a lot of points, giving up some big chunk yardage. They gave up some plays on the ground as well. All right, Tua in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. 35 seconds. Don't have any timeouts. Throws it down the field, and it'll be incomplete. The Jets do have 1 timeout here. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes before the second game starts, so this game's got 30 seconds, but we gotta be quick here. All right, empty set for Miami. Tua alone in the shotgun, takes the snap, gets the ball down to the 34. They got to take, they got to either run a play here or they got to take a spike. 17 seconds, 16, 15, and incomplete. So this will be a 52-yard field goal for a chance to win the game with 12 seconds left. Sorry, I thought this game was tied. My apologies. No, it is a 26-23 game the Jets with an opportunity here if Sanders misses this one to get a big victory over a division rival and likely knock out the Miami Dolphins. All right, so the Jets use their final timeout here, trying to ice the kicker. Yeah, regardless of what, if he does make it, we're not going to stick around for overtime. I just kind of want to see the ending of this bad boy. 52-yard field goal attempt. Snap, the kick, and it's right down the middle, and they are going into overtime. All right, I'm going to head out, guys. Browns, Steelers. It wasn't as memorable as the last time these two faced off, but it was a pretty solid game. Defensively, looked good. Second half, the Steelers just were able to pull away. So I'll catch you guys in a few minutes for the 3 o'clock game. So once again, thank you so much for hanging out. And my name is Dave, and I'm not a coach. Thank you.